Hello, hello, and welcome to Let's Make a Card. And tonight we're doing something a little different. Of course, I say that every time, and it's not that different. It's still paper, it's still a card. But I'm trying to incorporate a little more than just a sketch or just a Cricut SVG. So tonight's kind of a real combo. And I hope that you will join us. I've got a few things to share. As soon as you're here, let me know, and we will get started. I know it doesn't always pop up, hey Shannon, at the same time for everybody, so it's hard to know. If you miss it, I do record this, I pop it on YouTube, and it shows up on my blog. Everything shows up on my blog. So if you're looking for something and you don't know where it went, or where was there a recording, or you said something, pretty much I try to keep everything there. Okay, so let me just take you over there for a minute now anyway. So this is what the blog looks like. It's just karamiller.com, and when you get here, there's links to other stuff. If you're looking to purchase some SVGs, well, they're going to be right here, right? You're going to shop simple SVGs, and you're going to get sent to the store. This is the file that we're using tonight. If you look at blog, and you are not a Cricut user, well, even if you are a Cricut user, there is a sketch that you're going to want that's right here to download. That's free. And then here's a link to the SVG. If you want it, you click there. And then I've also put in a holiday code, and if you order any SVGs, now it's not on my Stampin' Up! Site, it's just in here on my SVGs. SVGs are those files for Cricut, Silhouette, Scan and Cut users. And it's 50% off any order this weekend. So wow is because we're probably not going to see fireworks around here. So you can wow yourself in the craft room. But okay, I know it's corny. So there's that. What else do I want to tell you about? Let me go back here. There's a couple other posts that I kind of, it's the first of the month, and there's just lots of things to tell you all about. So notice this July class of the month. Well, let me explain what that is. Last year, when shipping was not like this, I did this Christmas card club, and every month we got together and we made a set of cards, and I mailed things to people. I really can't do that. It's just too erratic and too unpredictable. I would have to start now in order to be sure that they got to everyone in the set time. So what I've decided to do is kind of the supplies that I provide in one of these. So you will get a sketch for each of the cards that we make. You will get SVGs for those of you that are Cricut or Scan and Cut or Silhouette users. If you click on this, you can, oops, sorry, wrong one. I went to the wrong one. If you click on the, it's gone. If you click on this Ben Thinking, you will see all the details. Basically, if you place a $50 Stampin' Up! Order in the month of July and you use my host code, you get invited to this free class. It's free. And then when you come into the class, you will get invited to the Zoom classroom. So it won't be here on Facebook. We will make three cards. You will have SVGs for those 3 cards. I don't give you any product. I don't mail you anything. Okay? So we'll get all the templates, all the downloads, all that kind of stuff, but nothing comes in the mail. That way I don't have to worry that it didn't get to you on time, or it's just crazy. So that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. We're going to try July and see how it works. So go make sure you read all the details. The other piece of July that's important is Stampin' Up! Is doing something special called Bonus Days, and they do this every July, and what they do is every $50, and so that's why I kept that price the same. Every $50 that you order, you will get in the email from them a coupon code for $5 off your August order. So it's really cool. You really get a lot of stuff when you place an order this month. Okay? cool. Right, that's that. What else did I want to tell you about? Oh, I've been talking about my retired product. I was going to show you the box. There's a lot of stuff. Trust me, there's a lot. And I've decided to do that a little differently than I've done it other years. Other years, you've placed an order, and certain orders got you certain stamp sets to pick from, and it was really cumbersome. So what I'm going to do this year is, it's called a BOGO sale, and I will come on Monday. It's not going to be ready till Monday. I'd hoped it'd be ready today, but yeah, dream on. It didn't happen. It's a lot of stuff. It's worse than having a tag sale. So everything is given all the stamp sets. Let me show you one for example. Okay, so here's a retired stamp set, right? I've used this. Let me see if I can open it. So I've used this stamp set in class. I've used it in a Facebook Live. I've used it. It's still really nice. Nothing's wrong with it. It works fine. In fact, I didn't even stick on the stickers. I'll clean it for you a little. Anywho, I will put this on a Google form, and I'll show you how to use it on Monday. And you go through and say, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Google timestamps it, so whoever ordered first is the person that gets it. I will respond with an email and say, okay, you just picked out $75 worth of retired product. This will be the regular retail price. You then go to Stampin' Up! And you order whatever that dollar amount was. And so you'll get Stampin' Up! Product new from the catalog in turn for whatever amount you said, and then this will come in the mail to you from me free. Okay? So it's a little glitchy, so you don't really buy this, but this is what determines what you need to buy in order to get this free. If you just want one, and this one is $15 or $25 or whatever it is, I don't know the price of this one. If that's what the price was, then you just go buy one stamp set at Stampin' Up! And you get this in the mail free. Okay? All right, cool. I think it'll be fun. Or I'll hate it. But we'll find out. And that doesn't happen until Monday. So you can start looking through the catalog, the current catalog, thinking, oh, this is on my list, this is on my list. How can I redeem this best way to get the best deal possible for me? And the reason I'm having you order it yourself is you'll also get the bonus days coupon from Stampin' Up! And because it's a super crazy month, if your order's $50, even if it's for the sale, which everyone tells me I'm crazy, we shouldn't do that because you're already getting free product, but hey, I'll do it. If you are part of the BOGO sale and you have an order that's $50, you'll also get invited to the July class too. So hey, you could rake in lots of free stuff this month. Good, good, good. All right. Phew, I think that's all. I sound like the, and that's not all. If you order today, you gladly will get 3 turtle doves and a partridge. No, we're not like that. And you have a month to figure it out. Becky, after you say, I want this, 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 and this, you'll have by the next day. So let's say on Monday, I put them up and tell you what they are. And again, they may not all go right away. I don't have any idea how this is going to go. I really don't, because I've never done it this way. So what will happen is you'll send me the Google form that says, I want these. And you'll have 24 hours to place your Stampin' Up! Order, or I'll just put them back in the list if you don't follow through and get that done, okay? That way it'll open them up for other people. And I will come on live on Monday and tell you all about it before I hit it. Oh, and the people that are on my mailing list, so make sure that you're on the mailing list, and that's really easy. You just go to that. And remember, I showed it to you. Let me go back and show you where it is so you can actually see it. If you go right here, it says don't miss a thing, email, subscribe. If you just put in your email address in there, you will get an email before I post it on Facebook in case there's something that you absolutely, positively, really, really are looking for. All right. All right, cool. Now we can go play. So, I think that's everything I have to tell you, but it could be, I could think of something else. All right, so this is what's downloadable on my blog where I said this is the PDF that you're going to want. This tells you how to make this card. All the measurements, everything that you need is right here. This is the card that we're going to make tonight. And it's also got an extra little note. Okay? This is an opportunity to use your designer series paper as your card base because the double-sided of this paper is just so cool, right? This is Peony Garden. Now I'm also going to remind you of my plan that I suggested that you put together these little boxes. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 7 right now, and I have so many more to do. You're going to take your designer series paper. If it's 12 by 12, you're going to cut it into 4 by 6s. So you're going to cut it in your strip of 4. Now, you're not going to want to do this on every single piece because you might want to make a box. You might want to make a card like this. You might want a layout. You're not really sure. Then you're only going to do that with half the package, or in my case, I bought 2 packages. And I cut one, and then I kept this one whole. Okay, so this is what the Peony Garden papers look like. They're grays and petal pink. So now, you've got this full sheet of paper, and you are going to need to cut it into 5.5 by 12. All right? So this is 5.5 by 12. The Cricut does not come into play until you get to the very end, and I'm going to show you what to do if you don't have a Cricut. We're calling those the Un-Cricut cards. All right, so 5.5 by 12, and we're going to do some scoring. So the first thing you're going to want to do is score at 4 1/4. All right, and then at 7. And then at 9.5. And this information is right here. You don't have to remember it. Just go right in and you can download the PDF that will have all this information for you. All right, so that's that. Now I'm going to put this little baby away. We're going to do some more cutting in a minute, but let's get this base of the card done. So, and you can decide which way you want it. We're going to fold it over and back and back. So here's one option. That's the same paper as this, but it does make my card look totally different, right? So there's that. Or I can go the other way and we're going to get the same card. So then we've got, so let me open this back up. So it's back, fold, fold. All right. Now in case you think, well, maybe I want to use like this paper. I love it, right? Which is really, really cute. But you have to think about which way you're cutting and which way you're folding. You want to make sure that you don't end up with your paper looking crooked, okay? So some papers it does matter which way you cut it. Others it doesn't. So if I did this, I would then have the paw prints inside, and I'm going to use the rest of the designer series paper to put a really great one on top, right? Or maybe I could do this, but then you're thinking, oh, I could flip it. It doesn't look the same because now my dogs are upside down, all right? So this kind of paper makes a difference which way you're going to want it. All right. So we're going to go with the easy one first. We're going to go with this one. All right, so that's that part, okay? That's this. Check. Now we move up to here. DSP stands for Designer Series Paper, and it's 3.5 by 4 3/4. Well, the cool part is, remember, I have these handy dandy little pieces already cut. So I'm going to go in here and pick one, and I'm going to pick the same one as the background paper. I did not on this. I picked a different one, but I'm going to pick the same one so we can see how it looks differently. So first things first, and truthfully, if you are finding this a little complicated to follow, it's easier to take a pencil, and once you've done this part, just check, got it. Now I'm on this, and then I'm going to check that off. So that needs to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so these are 4. So this is 3.5. I need to cut off a little bit. And then I need 4 3/4 this way. Okay, that's good. Then I need, this is cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5, whatever color I choose, and 3 3/4 Whisper White, or the same size, 3 3/4 by 5 of Whisper White. The Whisper White is to go right here inside for you to write on, because it would be hard to write something on the Designer Series paper. So these two are going to be the same size. One is going to be the backing. One is going to go right here. It's going to be this piece. So I used Petal Pink. This time I'm going to use the Smoky Slate for this one. And I need a Whisper White, which I don't know if I have one in here. I think I used them all. Have no fear, I have plenty, because I have them cut in another one. So I'll just grab this box, and I'll grab myself a Whisper White. Okay. And I need these two pieces at 3 3/4 by 5. All right, so I'm just going to go check, check, check. We're doing all of those. And I'm going to bring you up here. So 3 3/4. And I can cut 2 at once. By 5. Okie doke. Now let's try and get this together so it makes sense to us. The Whisper White is going to go in here. I am using Seal Plus. We have 2 new adhesives. Snail, which we've had for a long time, is now gone. We've moved on to Seals, right? And there are 2. I have not mastered this one yet. I'm going to be honest with you. There is kind of a learning curve to it. I don't know why. It shouldn't be hard to use adhesive for me. It's really a light touch, and I'm used to just ramping on it and putting it down. What I end up doing all the time is kind of advancing it a little bit, and then it will work. But then the second one doesn't work, and I have to advance it, okay? Seal Plus is an extra heavy duty. You use less of it, and you can just do a little dab in the corner, and you don't usually have that issue. If you do, it's a simple fix, right? So I don't know. So far, I'm liking Seal Plus better than Seal, but maybe I was told to practice, so I will. And I'm just going to pop that down, and that is ready to stamp on. All right? So here's my cover. Is going to have this with this, right? And then I'm going to bring in my embelly. Okay, so let's do this, and I need my ribbon, and I am using the white seam binding, which is right here. Okay. Everyone tells me that I need to just practice it, and it isn't that hard. I don't know why it's hard for me. I've really practiced. I really have. I think it's because we're all used to using snail and it was a certain level. This one though, this is awesome. I really like this one. It will make a liar out of me tonight. Part of my problem thinks that the bumpy table might have something to do with it. I don't know. Oh, I wanted to ink you before I put you down. So just because we only trimmed this and we didn't use our Cricut, we still want to use our ink. So I'm going to use my Petal Pink. And I'm going to ink this up a little. When you're using the Petal Pink, it doesn't look all that dramatic, but you'll notice that you used it. It's like having lipstick that I don't wear. Even if you use lip gloss, it's not all that dramatic, but people notice that you wear it. And then we're going to pop this on here. Show you nice and even. Oh, and you don't get a second chance when you're using Seal Plus. It sticks and you're going there. All right, and I'm also going to grab some, thought I had it out right, some gray granite. And I'm showing you options with our inking because I was told that I should use both of these little buggers. So this is the Stampin' Dauber, and it really does work great. And you put your ink right along the edge. And one more. Okay, so now I'm going to put my ribbon on before I stick it down. And I'm going to put these inks away because I'll put my elbow in it. And I'm also using the Stamp of the Month. Each month I'm picking a stamp set because there's so many cool new stamp sets, I can't stand it. So I decided to just slow my roll and pick one. And we'll use it throughout the month, and I'll show you some different ways that you can use it. I promise I'll use other ones. I won't stick with just that one. But this month we are using Ridiculously Awesome. And this is one of our $1 million demonstrators. So that means when you sell $1 million in Stampin' Up! Product, which sounds insurmountable, you are asked to design a stamp set along with the Stampin' Up! Art people. So this is from Rhonda Wade, who some of you have heard me talk about before. Rhonda is a demonstrator in Michigan, and this was hers, and she wanted chalk art, and she worked with Sarah Douglas, who is the CEO of Stampin' Up. Her husband did all of the artwork along with Rhonda. So it has some great sentiments, but they're really big and bold. All right, so that's what we're using. And because they're big, you kind of have to think about where you're going to use it. That's where I come in. All right, so enough babbling. Let's get our ribbon. And honestly, the easiest way to do this ribbon is to just take a piece, a little longer than you need, pick it up in the middle, and do the shoelace that you teach your kids, 2 bunny ears around and tie, right? But then you don't end up with those little tails, which I wanted. So that's normally what I would do. I took it, laid it around the back, and I brought it up and I just tied it right in the middle on top. Now don't attach it or anything until you get it tied. And I don't cut the end off until I get it where I want it. I feel like that just works easier. So hold it, double knot it so that it doesn't untie when it's in the mail. and then a loop. And seriously, this is not expensive ribbon, so, you know, be generous, don't worry. I think I was kind of stingy with this one. Now, when it starts to pull through, grab that little tail and pull it back. And you're just going to kind of work with it till you get these lengths the way you want them. To get this bow a little bit smaller, hold on to the knot and just pull this tail. And then you'll get them about where you want it. Okay, then we're going to just take our snips and snip off the excess. This ribbon's kind of forgiving. It's really pretty kind to those of us to work with it. So now this is movable. It's not attached yet, because now I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for the top piece. So let's do the Cricut one, and then so this is what the embelly looks like. And let me move some things out of the way. I'm going to tell Cricut to go ahead and make it. Now remember, I brought this in, so when I buy it at the store, this store, I will purchase it. It will bring it onto my computer. Then I'm going to save it in Design Space, and now I'm going to make it. You don't have to do anything to this first. You're just going to go ahead and make it. Notice there's two layers. One layer is this, and the other layer is the shadow behind it. See, it's gray? Okay, so on this one, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to do a designer series on top of something, and I'm going to do gray behind it. So let's look in here. Now, if you go back to looking at this, you can see that I want two colors on here. I'm going to click on this guy and those three dots, and I'm going to say Move Object. And I want it on a new mat because I want it to be a different color. This white, I want this one to be white. All right. So now I'm going to have 3 loads of the mat into the Cricut. But that way this can be one color, this can be one color, and this can be one color. Because remember, Cricut cuts by color without going back to the design and changing it. I'm just going to do it that way. Okay, so I keep this in my brain, what it looks like. This is the piece that it's going to go on, so that's really where the contrast needs to be. And I want my shadow layer is going to be one of these. I think it's going to be this one, which is really a designer series paper. So that's going to be my shadow. Then the top layer, I don't know, is there another pink or is this the only option? Let's look back here. Ooh, that would be cool. That's kind of a cool one. Ooh, no, that one. All right, so this is going to go on top. So this is what you're going to see on the front of the card. Now, if you are matchy-matchy normally, that's me, then I might say, okay, that's really pretty, but you know what? This would just make my heart sleep better. And maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I do like this one, but it's too busy for me. So I like this look better. This is my shadow. This is my top. And then I need a whisper white. All right. Oh, good, Miss Ella. Yeah, it does work. It does. It works pretty well, and you can do that quickly. Why do I not have any more whisper white? I guess I played with it earlier. It's time to cut some whisper white here. Now, I have thick and regular. I was going to say thick and thin. I don't like to use the thick whisper white for anything but my card bases. It's really too thick to layer on your cards, so I use the thin one for that. All right, let's get back to the beginning. So this is my top layer, which is this guy. I'm going to say continue. And I use medium cardstock for all Stampin' Up! Product, and it works great. And there you go. Okay. And then my next layer is the shadow, and for that one, now I could use cardstock if I wanted, but I'm going to use this one to get it a little bit more foof. And tell it to go ahead. Now you're sitting there thinking, well, what if I don't have a Cricut? How am I going to do this? Well, I'm going to show you. Don't you worry. You're going to want your trimmer, and you're also going to want your 2-inch punch. All right? So if you are a non-Cricut user, that's what you're going to need. It may not be exactly the same, but it'll be cute. And then I just need to cut my circle. Now this is the one I moved so I could have it. Now I've also done it where I've kind of slid it down a little bit and put a small piece at the top and a small piece at the bottom. That works, but it's difficult to find out exactly where and how, and sometimes it's just easier not to do all that measuring and putzing around with it and just get it onto another mat. Now you can go back into the design screen, the canvas on your app, and change the color, and then Cricut will do it. So it's options. Remember, I tell you lots of times there's more than one way to do it. All right, we are done with this machine. We can slide you back. Oh, I love the joy. It's just so simple because it's right there, right? All right, so here is what we just made. We have our shadow, our top, and our spot to stamp on. Now, if I'm not a Cricut user, I'm going to grab my trimmer and I'm going to use the same paper so that you can tell what it looks like. So I need another one of these and this one. And I'm going to come back to my instructions, and I need a 3.5 by 3.5 square and a 3.5 by 3.25 square. All right. This is the shadow, so this is going to be the big one. So this is going to be 3.5. By 3.5. And then this one, get over, I'm going to end up cutting you. This one's going to be 3.25. By 3.25. Don't you love this one? I love peonies anyway, but this sweet is so pretty. Okay, so this is going to go like this. We're going to ink this little baby up a little. Just because it's not done on a Cricut doesn't mean we don't give it a little inky love. So we're going to petal pink it. I know I've promised a lot of other projects. They're coming. Christmas is coming. No, I am working on them. I have some file folder mini albums that are really, they're coming. They just take longer than I anticipated. I was thinking, I'll get those done in a day. No. Okay, here's our Seal Plus, and we're going to just do a little dab in each corner. And pop you right on the money. There you go. Let's get this one going too. Now, if you wanted a frame, you could use 2 of your dies, like the stitch shapes. Those have a great square. Or there's a rectangle. You could use your labels. So you could use a lot of different options to create yourself a little square if you wanted, and you're not Cricut-y. So for Un-Cricut people, you could do that. Oh, those of you that have been looking in the new catalog and you saw that cool new die and embossing machine, it's coming. I believe September is when that's going to be available. And the mini will be, there's 2 sizes, and the mini will be available before Christmas, but I don't have a date yet, certain. It's, you know, when I was little, there used to be a joke, and maybe it's not so funny now, that it's on a slow boat from China whenever I would ask where anything was. And I think that's the case. All right, so there's that. And it's ready to go on here. If you look closely at this Seal Plus, you'll see that the adhesive comes off in little strips, like there's little lines across it, which is kind of cool. And let me bring this up close. Maybe you can see it on this one. Too close. See it? And I just kind of make sure that it's not hanging out because it doesn't really rub off. So you want to make sure that you didn't go over the edge with it. And then that is going to go right here. Nice and even. Okay, so these are our 2 pieces. This is our Cricut one, and then I need a 2-inch one, and I'm going to use my punch for this one. Okay, not quite the same. You also have, when you purchase the SVG, there's also a tracing template. Like I showed you earlier, that it's a PDF, you print it out, you cut out the shape, and then you trace it onto your cardstock. So you can make exactly this shape if you want to. There is there's a PDF in the store. And remember, if you use WOW, you get it for half price. Okie dokie, let's see. We're going to do some stamping now. Now it's time to bring in our Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fear. I love the fonts and the way these are written. So cool. All right, so here's Let Your Faith Be Bigger Than Your Fear. I did not put the sticker on the back of this one, and I'll tell you, it's really easy to mess it up. I did on the back of this one. These kinds, I generally don't, because I love being able to pop it on and off the block so easily. But I will tell you, it's really easy to get these upside down. So I'm recommending the cling on these kind of font ones, at least. At least that's my story. All right, here is our smoky slate. Make sure that you have a good inking, because these are big ones. Yay. I'm going to do 2 while we're at it, because we're going to do 2 fronts here. Now I didn't make another card base. I can, but I didn't. So then I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to roll it to get the edges inked and let it dry. It is kind of satisfying, Shannon. Okay, there's that. Then one other thing, this one is You Got This. Sharpie dot on the top of, oh, that's a good idea, Becky. I like that. So Becky's saying that you would put a Sharpie dot right here so you can tell the top of them. Clever, clever. Okay, so I'm also going to stamp You've Got This right in here, and I'm going to stamp right on the pattern paper. Now I did my other one using some Memento. I'm going to give it a shot and see if this smoky slate isn't readable. Oh, it definitely is. I like it better too. All right, so there is You've Got This. And then I need P.S. I Love You. And that's going to go right down here at the bottom. Okay. Right. Now I'm ready to put these on the fronts of my card. Let's put the ink away. That is a really cool suggestion, Becky. I like it. Where are my dimensionals? I had a bunch. Here they are. Now you could have done these cuts on a Cricut or cut the card and all that stuff. You really can't do the 12 unless you go with a long mat. And honestly, I think it's just as easy to use your trimmer for things like that. So I did not include Cricut files for that. I think this kind of thing using your trimmer and your scoring is really just as easy and quick using the hand trimmer. But if you wanted it, you could do that in your Cricut. All right, so there's that. This is what the two options would look like. Let me put it on the front of the card. So here's the one designed using the Cricut. It's going to slide up there a little. And then here's the one without a Cricut. Really cool. You could get away with either one. All right. So I'm going to slide this under the ribbon just a little, like so. Yep, like it. But I'm going to put my adhesive down before I do it. It does test me. Don't get carried away and push harder when you get annoyed. And that's what I do. Okay. And we're going to tuck this under. Get that where you want it. And then I'm going to take your pick and grab myself a glue dot. And I'm going to kind of roll it up. And then I'm going to tuck it under here, just under the knot of the bow. And that is going to hold the knot in place, and it's also going to keep the bow where I want it. All right. Now I'm ready to stick this on the front of the card. Do not flip this over and go psh, 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 or your card will not open. So you're going to line this up, and you're going to line it up so that it covers the Whisper White. It's the same size, so you're going to line them up so that they cover the Whisper White, and that makes the card look even, balanced, whatever. And to adhere this, I only want adhesive on this part, right? So I'm going to kind of hold my hand here so I can, if you're a pencil person, you'd have to mark it with a pencil, but it's not that exact. And then you're going to go here and here and here and here. All right, that's not going anywhere. See it? And then I'm going to bring this baby back, line it up on this side, and then plop it down. And now when you open your card, you've got this, and then P.S. I love you, and lots of room. The one more thing I added at the very end was to give it a little bling was, these are really, really pretty. I love them. They're petal pink in here. This one's a faceted one, and this one is smooth. Elegant faceted gems. I just love them. So, and I just took 3 of those and put them across the top. Now you could also, they'd look really pretty if you kind of just scattered them on the card. So that's what I'm going to do this time. I am going to fess up. I am going to tell you why I did it the way I did it in a minute. I will. Maybe. No, I'll tell you. So I'm taking the little ones. There. Try to make a triangle with them. So there's 3. Okay. Why are these right here? Because when I stamped that, I rocked my stamp a little, and I had a ghost line up here, just a line of the outside of the stamp, a ghost line if you've never had them. That's getting a little bit of this in here. And I kind of rocked my stamp a little bit when I put it down. I know better, but I did. And so I thought, well, I'm not going to ruin it. It's great. I don't want to cut it again. So I just covered it up with some little bit of bling. But this one doesn't have any boo-boos, so I get to do it this way. All right, and then if I didn't have this, I could have popped this right on here and tucked it into, I tuck it under my ribbon, and I'd be good to go. I'm actually going to put this up just sitting here because I have a really big version of that on the wall. Fear does tend to overtake some of us sometimes, and I need to remember that. So I'm just going to pop it up here in front of me on my desk, and it will sit there for me. This card is great for someone who's going through some challenges, and right now I think that means all of us. So I bet you can think of 3 or 4 people that you need to send this card to. I was challenged to send more cards, and I am guilty of this. I have a basket full. So I am going to work for the month of July and think of somebody every day, not their birthday, just because I went and bought a book of stamps today, and I'm going to just pop a stamp, just a note, thinking of you, hope you're having a great day, in the mail. I can think of a gazillion people. I've got some people at church that need this, some family members, some of you might need this. So I'm going to be sending cards this month. That is my goal. Do all of you send cards? Or are we just really making them? I feel like that's what I do. I make them and I admire them, and then they sit there. So cards are going in the mail for no reason, just 'cause. And I think ridiculously awesome will spur me along. Awesome, you guys. Thanks for coming tonight. This was really fun. Let me know if you have any questions. Those of you that are not Cricut users, if you're feeling challenged by something, or you think that I went too fast and you need a little more help with something, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help. Right? See, we all do that. So let's do that for each other. Let's send some cards. And I'll nag you. I will. I'll nag you so that you'll do it. So the more that we make, the more then we can make more. Because if you have a whole bunch of them sitting there, you're not going to make any more. You're going to say, well, I have enough. You can never have enough. That's a great idea, Mazzella. We did this at the beginning. We talked about this at the beginning of COVID when we first started, when we started the stay at home. And it is kind of coming back to some places. I'm blessed that here in New England, we're okay right now. But I know a lot of my friends in other parts of the country are having to slow things down a little bit. I've not changed. I really don't go anywhere anyway. So I'm okay. I'm good. Just because they said I could didn't mean I'm gonna. All right, everybody. So have a wonderful holiday weekend. I don't know what your plans are. I'm probably hanging out by the pool. Sounds good to me. Yeah, Tucson is going back. I did see that. And Texas and Florida. So it's hard. I think it's harder when you to go back. I think it is. But yes, I'm really okay. And we said this when Vermont started to open things up. We said, well, you know what? It's okay. Just because I can doesn't mean I should. So I'm going to kind of keep doing all the same things. I have been brave and been to the grocery store a few times. But yes. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. I'll see you on Monday, and I will pop in and let you know before the buy one get one sale goes. But it'll be sometime Monday morning. But I'll let you know. Good night, everybody. Bye. Oh, Miss Ella, you stay safe, my dear. Don't go wandering. You stay home. I'll see you soon.